Okay, manifesting your dream life. I'm gonna give an actual proper lesson on revision here in my way, right? So, oftentimes you sit there and you consider your dream life. It doesn't really matter what that dream life is, right? Maybe that dream life is being married to a specific person. Maybe it's a business you wish you opened. Maybe it's becoming a sports figure, artist, something like that, right? And then you often think about moments in your past where you think, if I went left instead of right, I'd be living my dream life. But why do those moments come up now while you are sitting there just effectively daydreaming about your dream life, right? Why do they come up? Because these are points that you believe where you set an intention to go against your intention, right? You set an intention to go against what it is you really wanted to be doing. And they can seem quite powerful even now because they still active and exist within you, that you are going against your intention. So, Neville Goddard has a teaching on revision, right? And his teaching is on the basis of your past exists right now. Your future exists right now. You don't have to go and look for these things. They come up when you are already ready to rearrange it, to revise it, to re-experience it in the way that you would want to do it. Rewriting your reality, right? So here's the thing. When you exist here and now in this moment, when you realize that you exist here and now in this moment, right? No matter when the moment is, you just exist in it as a physical identity that is the self expressed as that physical identity. You realize your past, age 1, 2, 3, 12, 20, your future, age 40, 50, 60, 70, however long, that idea is being created right now. It's like, no, I have documentation that I existed in this specific linear timeline. Yeah, of course you do. Why wouldn't you? You just became aware of that timeline and became part of your physical experience. Doesn't mean it's your only timeline. It doesn't mean it's your only past. Most of the time, you can't even remember most of your past, right? Until you go looking for it, and then you find it, right? What I am saying is that when you set the intention right now to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to believe. I'm going to believe in this. I'm willing to believe in that my future and my past exist simultaneously. They all exist right now. So all of those choices and decisions are actually making me who I am right now. Even if I feel myself having made a decision 10 years ago, I'm going to choose and be willing to believe that I'm recreating that decision now. Okay. In my imagination, I'm going to go back into my beingness, into my memory, and I'm going to look at myself at that point where I went left instead of right. I went to this degree instead of that degree. I said no instead of saying yes. I'm going to go back to that point. I'm going to set the intention that, yeah, I know I physically experienced that way. Even though my heart said go that way, I didn't. I'm going to go that way now. I'm going to feel myself going that way. Because I'm setting the intention to choose going toward my dream life. It doesn't matter if that led you toward your dream life or it didn't. It's the intention behind what it is you are doing. You know? That's what revision is. Revision is choosing a new life path. It doesn't necessarily matter what the image of it looks like. It's the knowing of what you are doing. That's what people kind of get iffy about, right? They think that the image has to be pixel perfect in order for your intention to be known. It doesn't. The image is nothing more than a nice, fun representation of what it is you are imagining. Typically, we like the image to be clearer and what it is, so we just know what it is we are doing. But if you know that it's just knowing, and then the image comes after your knowing because it's pulling it forth, and all images just exist, so it's your intention that set the thing. So go into your imagination with the intention that these moments where I believe there was a crossroad, and I would have preferred it to be different. Go, set the intention, and choose differently. It doesn't matter what you think is going to happen after you chose that. It doesn't matter what you think is going to happen in this very moment after you chose that. Just make the assumption that because I chose differently, because I'm continuously choosing differently, because I choose differently, I am that which I now imagine myself to be. It's not up to me to rearrange the world. I am the world projected via my intention, my assumption. So if I have changed my intention and I have changed my assumption, I assume the world is now changing accordingly to that, because I am the world, because I am everything. In my perspective of reality, I am reality. That's who you are, reality. So when you, as reality, change your intention and your assumption, same thing, you are now unfolding from that very point, backwards and forwards. And yes, oftentimes you often hit a assumption that you had deep within you that you didn't even know was there, and you wonder why these keep popping up. It's because you've changed your assumption, right? You're going backwards in time in your mind to those points where you have experienced the assumption that you now carry. So you're getting the opportunity to change it in real time, right? That's what happens. You often go back and all of these things resurface on their own. And then we sometimes get into the habit of, oh my God, do I need to keep on digging for these assumptions holding me back? No. You keep choosing who you are. And the assumptions that no longer align with that you are believing unconsciously pop up on their own. Remember, your subconscious mind is not something where you need to convince it to rearrange your reality. Your subconscious mind is an infinite bag of fun, right? It's an infinite bag of everything that you are. So those assumptions that you had, they don't disappear. They're just no longer active. You're just becoming aware of what was active because now you're choosing something that is contradicting what was active. So you just keep going forward as that identity. And as you keep going forward as that identity, you are simultaneously experiencing your life backward at the same time, where in those moments you realize, oh, that's what I was assuming. That's why that happened. That didn't happen because I was assuming something else. It happened because I was assuming that. Now I'm going to assume something different. So if it happens again, I know that, hey, cool, that's what I used to assume. That's no longer who I am. Then you don't have to be like, what's the phrase people like to say? It's ignore the 3D. That's one. You don't have to ignore the three-dimensional world. Why? Right? Because you are the three-dimensional world. So if you just treat the three-dimensional world as this knowing, hey, all this is inside me, regardless of what I do or don't do in the moment, regardless if I explode or don't explode in the moment, regardless if I feel emotionally annoyed or angry or sorrowful or guilty or happy or joyful or blissful in the moment, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the assumption that I am making of my life. And the assumption that I'm making of my life is that I am reality. I am all of reality. I am all of reality simultaneously right here and right now. And what I choose from that allness, from that isness, from that beingness is who I choose to experience my physical self as. What I know is reality because I can only know myself, because what I know must exist, and if I know it exists, it must exist within me, one with me, because everything exists within me, within my awareness. And if I am that awareness, giving everything light, giving everything beingness, giving everything its physicality, giving everything meaning and experiencing of it, whatsoever I choose right now, in whatever time frame I am perceiving it to be in, whether it's 10 years behind me or 10 years in front of me, it exists for me right now, and I exist as it right now, right here. That's it.